Greetings and welcome. I am Dr. Danielle McCamey, the founder, CEO, and president of DMPs of Color, and it is with much pride that I stand before you at our first annual conference, Docs at the Table, Promoting Diversity and Transforming Nursing Practice. Before we begin, I just want to take a moment of silence for reflection and respect. Words cannot express the tremendous changes and grief we've endured over the past 2 years during the pandemic and the amplifying of racial injustice across the country. The impact of these events have been very real and profound. So much has been required, even when everyone has so much less to give. Thank you all for continuing to show up for one another and continuing to learn, teach, and work to support our mission while bearing the weight of your own life obligations and families. So just a moment of silence, please. Thank you. I would like to thank everyone here today for being part of this prestigious event. It is an honor to see so many docs registered, to have so many distinguished and high-level speakers on our agenda, and to welcome hundreds of attendees from all over the nation. Many thanks to our conference co-chairs, Dr. Lolita Majaldo, Dr. Angel Daniels, and the conference committee for organizing this event. As their founder, I sit in awe of the growth and impact we've had in our community through our programs and events since we operationalized back in May 2020. And to think this is just the beginning of us fulfilling our mission and building a community focused on mentorship, networking, and advocacy to increase diversity in doctoral studies, clinical practice, and leadership. Being DMP prepared enables us to have a seat at different tables, and our community brings a richness of diversity and a variety of dynamic leaders, which uniquely positions us to be influential in transforming nursing practice. With DMPs of Color, we intend to create supportive environments that will inspire, empower, and transform the landscape of nursing to include more diversity in nursing that will ultimately increase our progress on the path toward health equity. Over the next couple of hours, you will hear presentations and engage in lively discussions that will undoubtedly allow us to learn from one another. I hope that you all find today's conference as enjoyable and a rewarding experience. Thank you all for your continued support of us and your energy and commitment to our mission and vision as DMPs of Color. Thank you. And so I now pass the mic over to Dr. Lolita Majaldo.
Thank you, Dr. McCamey and Dr. Gibson and the board for their vision and creating such a diverse platform. I also want to give a huge thanks to our conference planning committee, a team of talented people. It is an honor to serve as the co-chair for our first annual conference. I'm excited to announce our sponsors and to thank them and to thank you for your support and ensuring that the table is large enough for everyone to have a seat. Our platinum sponsors are the University of Maryland School Association, our Woodruff School of Nursing of Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, the George Washington University School of Nursing, the University of South Carolina, the College of Nursing, MyDNPmanuscript.com, Jonas Nursing and Veterans Healthcare, Coppin State University, Doctors of Nursing Practice, Inc., One Accord Health, who is also our CE sponsor. Our bronze sponsors are the Nicole Wortham College of Nursing and Health Sciences at Florida International University, Professor Jessa Consultants, and a general thank you to all of our Blue sponsors. I'd like to introduce our co-chair, Dr. Angel Daniels.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Daniels, and let me say it has been a privilege to serve as one of the co-chairs for the programming committee. I'm both honored and excited to be here today as we come together to promote diversity, equity, and inclusivity while striving to inspire and empower as we work towards transforming nursing practice. So I do have a couple of housekeeping items to announce. There will be 2 conference links for the conference, one link for the conference environment and one for the Q&A and networking. And again, we recommend you keep both tabs open for the ease of going back and forth between the 2 platforms. In the virtual environment, please mute yourselves, but cameras are optional. Please take some time to review and vote on all submitted posters during your designated breaks. Voting will close at the end of lunch and will be announced at the end of the conference. So please log on to www.dmpsofcolor.org/posters. The password is capitalized DOC 2021. Again, the Q&A sessions will be conducted and moderated in the chat. And lastly, please do not forget to complete the evaluation at the end of the conference to receive your CE credit. And we would like to thank you again for attending the conference, and we know that you're going to have a great day and a great time with all of our speakers.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome again to our first annual virtual conference. I am Dr. Danielle McCamey, the founder, president, and CEO of DMPs of Color. I'm extremely excited to join you here at our first virtual conference, and I'm overjoyed that we've garnered the support from so many different sponsors and have over 200 people at our first conference. This is truly exciting, and I'm extremely humbled by the support, the encouragement, and the belief of our mission, our vision, and our goals as an organization. I wanted to take this time just to go over the year, our year successes that we've had since we've been operational since May 2020, and to share some of the things that are to come. So here we go. I want to recognize and appreciate our board of directors, Dr. Ethlyn McQueen Gibson, who serves as our vice president, Dr. LaDonna Brown, our treasurer, Dr. Tony Murray, our secretary, Dr. Daisy Medina Crepin, Dr. Jenna Benunis, and Dr. Bimbola Akintade. I also want to highlight our advisory committee and also offer them some thanks. Dr. Dwayne Aline, who also serves as our chair of our social media marketing committee, Dr. Tamara Brodnax, Dr. David Campbell-Odell, Dr. Sandra Davis, Dr. Stephen Ferreira, Dr. Julian Gallegos, Ms. Rhonda Gittins, Dr. Derek Glimpf, Dr. Karen Keston, Dr. Orlin Marquez, Ms. Nicole Parmore, Dr. Imelda Reyes, and Dr. Carol Washington. So we started our year back in May 2020 with the appointment of our board of directors. And from May, we hosted our first virtual graduation with Dr. Sandra Davis as our keynote speaker back in June 2020. And from there, we expanded on hosting a variety of events, and we kicked off our Mentoring Moments lecture series with the first talk of You Can Call Me Doctor. And it was around navigating the doctor politics in real life, where we had a lively, engaging discussion around the use of the title doctor and how we navigate our respective areas being doctorally prepared. We also collaborated with Launch Augusta, which is a nonprofit based in Georgia, with some of their mentoring opportunities for their pathway program of exposing elementary, middle, and high school students to healthcare professions. Of course, we celebrated with Happy Hour. We also collaborated in supporting More Statistics Consulting's first virtual conference and being a sponsor. And we launched our research committee. And then we hosted another virtual commencement for the December graduates. And there's a snapshot of the attendees of that commencement. And we continue to strengthen our partnership with Launch Augusta, participated in Giving Tuesday, and we launched more programming around our mentoring moments with our Motivational Mondays. And then we continue to sponsor other organizations, creating space to highlight our members with our doc shout outs. And we hosted a Nurses Week celebration with a giveaway in honor of Mary Eliza Mahoney and Florence Nightingale. And we had our 1,500 follower on Instagram that we celebrated. This past spring on Juneteenth, we hosted another virtual commencement, which we had nearly 70 graduates that we celebrated. And here's just kind of a small collage of all the wonderful budding scholars, docs that we have in our community. We also garnered some collaborations with AACN, and we're in partnership doing a webinar series around graduate student life. We also launched our Pathway to Publication Learning series, which is a series of education around the publication process. And today we join you with our first annual virtual conference. We also were featured in a variety of news. We put a statement out during the height of the George Floyd murder and got highlighted in Clinical Advisor. We were also recognized by NP Student Magazine as the one to watch for their best of 2020, and just a variety of highlights of our advisory board and board of directors in various publications. And then our newest highlight in Minority Nurse, which was an amazing spotlight on DNPs of color. And we launched our committees. This was phase one of our membership transition plan. So we ended up launching our programming committee, which is led by Ethlyn McQueen Gibson and Lolita Mahaldo, our research committee, which is led by Bim Akintade and Yvette Lowry, our governance by myself and Jenna Ben Yunus, finance, LaDonna and Shanita Avinger, our DEI and anti-racism in nursing, which is led by myself and Vivine Pierce McDaniel, and social media marketing led by Dr. Dwayne Aline and myself, and of course our advisory committee. Our reach continues to grow. This map is already outdated in terms of where docs are located that that participate in our community. The blue just shows that there's a higher cluster of DNPs of color in those respective states. So just going over high level, some of the impact that we've made since our first virtual commencement, spring 2020, we've increased attendance and attendees and participants exponentially. We actually garnered some support for our spring commencement. We've tremendously increased our social media following on all platforms. And we also increased our programming toward the last half of this year. Like I mentioned, we launched our Pathway to Publication Learning series and continue to develop our Mentoring Moment series. And the virtual commencements have been a huge hit, so we'll continue that. And then our virtual conference, we have over 200 registrants, which is beyond my thoughts. I initially was like, let's just get 60 and then we'll be okay. So I am so grateful for the enthusiasm of wanting to participate. We've collaborated with Maker Health, AACN, NP Student Magazine. We've become a colleague organization with AACN and an NPO partner organization with AANP. We've also were selected by Georgetown University Social Impact Program for Innovo Consulting Services. Like I mentioned before, the Minority Nurse Magazine highlight. Amongst our board of directors and advisory committee, we have folks that were inducted as fellows, Dr. Glimpf, Dr. Gallegos, and Dr. Akintade. Congrats to them. And our virtual conference, we managed to secure a variety of sponsors. Want to make a special recognition for our platinum sponsors, Chamberlain University, University of Maryland, and the National Black Nurses Association. Thank you so much for your support. and 8 silver sponsors, 2 bronze, and over 30 blue sponsorships. We created this to make sponsorship more accessible, especially for small businesses and those that are led by DNP nurses. So what's to come? Just going over high level our strategic vision for 2020 through 2023. And our mission is to serve doctors of nursing practice of color through networking, mentorship, and advocacy to increase diversity in doctoral studies, clinical practice, and leadership. So our main pillars are networking, mentorship, and advocacy, as you can see that are highlighted there. And our vision is to inspire, empower, and transform the landscape of nursing to increase diversity in doctoral studies, doctoral nursing practice. And our top 3 priorities are fundraising, programming, and membership. So looking over at the chart, our objectives are here. So objective 1, to serve as mentors and guide nurses of color to pursue Doctor of Nursing practice studies. And that's in support of our pillar of mentorship. And our plans are to create what we are calling Docs Institute, and that's comprised of DNP scholars, clinician and leadership, post-DNP fellowship programs. We also want to create a DNP mentorship program and continue to garner university and corporate partnerships and sponsors and collaborate to create pipeline/pathway programs. Objective 2, to create opportunities for engagement in academia, research, and clinical practice. This is our networking pillar. So continuing to look for funding and scholarships for our respective programs, really develop our education, policy, and professional development programming and events, and continuing with our membership transition and really bolstering up our networking community. And objective number 3, to advocate for educational support for DNPs of color, our advocacy pillar. Generating of new research and creation of a Journal of DNPs of Color is underway. Really developing our DEI anti-racism and nursing community, creating our policy and advocacy committees as well. And then also expanding to create preceptor network, leader and clinician networks. So for our for fiscal year 2022, our focus will be on membership transition and our Docs Institute. We are projecting that membership should launch early spring. The Docs Institute is a multi-arm program that consists of post-DNP fellowships. The first fellowship arm we're going to be working on is the post-DNP research arm, and that's where we're going to launch our Pathway to Publication Fellowship. More to come on the specific details regarding the Docs Institute, other arms of focus, but our first focus will be the research, developing the DNP researcher, beginning with the Pathway to Publication Fellowship. And with that, I offer much gratitude and thanks for your support, your time and attention, your talent and your enthusiasm for DNPs of Color. We hope that you have a wonderful time during our conference and that you continue to follow us, join us, and support us as we continue to build the foundation, being the voice and representation of DNPs of Color in the nursing profession, and really making progress toward our collective path and interest toward health equity. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Have a wonderful day.